Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Mel, and this is Manifesting with Mel and Sue. Today, we are talking about letting go of resistance.
Yes, so here is a common question in manifesting. Do you need to let go to manifest? What is your opinion on this?
No, you don't need to. In my opinion, it can make it a little bit easier, but you don't have to.
Yeah, so I'm really conflicted on this because in all of my experience, I have only manifested when I let go of trying to manifest the thing. So, and maybe that's an assumption that I have, but I see that anytime that I am manifesting something specific and I just decide and think about it and then don't worry about it anymore, it comes to me really quickly. However, if it's something that I continue to try to manifest, then it tends to take longer and I struggle. So what are your thoughts? Like, have you experienced persisting in something and then getting it without letting go of it?
That's a really good question. Thinking about that, I feel like I really haven't. I feel like when I do let go, things do come very quickly. I think for us, it probably is an assumption because...
Well, we are gods and we make the rules, right?
Exactly. So I think if you make the rule of if one person believes, oh, as long as I affirm over and over and over again, I'll get it, and that's how it works for them, versus like with us, we believe that we have to let it go.
Well, I don't necessarily believe that I have to. Like, I believe that whatever I think works will work. And so I have tried, affirming nonstop for something with the intention of this is going to work because I said so, because if I persist in it, it has to happen. But I've never been successful in that way, or at least I haven't yet. And so I think the reason why is for me, when I affirm nonstop for something, it makes me feel like I'm obsessing over that thing. And so I feel like as long as I'm affirming for it, then I don't feel like it's done, And so I think, going back to, what Neville said that, like, once you plant the seed, you don't come back and check to see, you don't dig it up to see if anything sprouted. You just leave it alone and let it harvest. I'm paraphrasing. He said something along those lines, right?
You get the gist.
So, like, I go back to, Neville, and Neville always said, like, you trust, you once you bury the old man, he says, so bury the old man. Basically, the old man is the old you, and the new you is the new man. So, like, once you bury the old man, you don't go dig him back up. Like, he's dead. You have to persist in the new man, the new story, right? And so, I think that if I've seen a lot online of people who have had success with that method, but I think that for me, it creates a sense of lack and obsession. And
it does for me too.
Yeah.
I feel like the more I persist, so to speak, the more I'm thinking about, like, I'll use this as a good example. When people are trying to manifest an SP, they'll start watching YouTube videos, how to get your SP, how to get your SP. This works like magic, and they'll just watch video after video after video. And I stopped doing that because I felt like I was putting myself in a place of, I don't have my specific person, or I don't have the thing that I want. So I stopped watching videos on how to get what I wanted because I was like, I already have it. So it's, I think a good analogy for that is if you and I decide, hey, tomorrow night, let's go get dinner. And we go to the restaurant, we get dinner. Am I going to sit there and keep saying, hey, Sue, do you want to go get dinner? Hey, Sue, do you want to go get dinner? Should we go get dinner? Let's go get dinner when we're sitting in the restaurant ordering dinner, right?
Right.
So you don't, when you're at the place or you have what you want, a specific person, you're not going to sit there like, oh, they're going to text me. Because when you're with somebody, do you worry about them texting you?
Not anymore.
No.
So I want to talk about that because that actually this is a relevant story.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was trying to manifest a relationship with many different people at different points over the past few years, I would get into this state of like trying to manifest texts from them, more contact, more visits, more love, and always trying to get more than what I had, and always feeling like the more I tried, the worse it got.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to the point where it's like every guy, I would get into the spiral of like, even without me doing anything in the 3D, they were pulling away. And to me, it seemed to me that it was coming from, because I was manifesting from a place of lack, I just kept getting more of that, and to the point where they just ghosted me. And I think I talked a couple of times about some guys that ghosted me. Well, there's a reason why that cycle kept repeating. However, I have learned now to let go, and I have gotten to a place where that's no longer an issue in a relationship, where I don't need to manifest contact. I don't need to manifest anything from this man because I am already in the relationship that I want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need anything more. And so I let it go, and now everything is just coming to me, and it's wonderful. And there was actually a specific thing that I wanted to talk about, because there's a guy that I dated about a year ago. I won't give his name, but Mel, I'll just say that you know him.
I do.
And when I was dating him, I had this idea of like, this guy is completely unresponsive to me. Like at first it was great. Like I'd hear from him all the time. And then it got so that he would like message me, and then I'd reply, and it was like he threw his phone away for an hour a day or 3 days. Like it was just like, why am I not hearing? Like, what the fuck? And so then I would start affirming, he's constantly texting me, he's blowing up my phone, all of this. And it wasn't getting me anywhere because it was coming from a place of like anxiety and lack, and not relaxed and like knowing that this is happening and this is how it is. And so I was really stressed about it. Well, I recently reconnected with this person, and I just decided, not even decided, it was like, I don't even care anymore. He recently started seeing a friend of mine, mm-hmm. and you know her, so you know this story. Well, the thing is, like, she knew my perception of him, mm-hmm. and she
complained, didn't she? Didn't she?
Yeah. And so what happened was that she stopped getting contact from him. I didn't want to say too much to her about it, but I kept getting contact from him.
I think she had said something about that, because she had said something along the lines of, it's almost like the same thing is happening mm-hmm. to her that happened to you, because she took on my
beliefs. Yeah,
exactly.
Only now I didn't care. I didn't care if he messaged me or not, or if we made plans. And now I see him several times a week and hear from him all the time. In fact, the whole week.
Meanwhile, our friend does not.
Yeah, the whole week that he wasn't texting her, I would hear from him every day. And I would go to the gym with this guy, and I was sick this week. I couldn't go for a couple days, and he'd like check on me and ask if I was feeling better. Like, very sweet. Nice guy, super sweet guy, totally responsive and communicative. So it's just another thing where it's like, when you let go of the need, like, I didn't need his attention anymore, and all of a sudden, like, here it is. Here, Sue, have more of me. So it's just a great place to be in when you can let go of the need or the resistance mm-hmm. For it, and just when you are in your dominant state is just open and receptive and not having expectations, then you're just gonna bring more good things into your life, especially when you're really grateful for them.
Oh, for sure. And I think whereas SPs and money are really big topics, I think letting go of the resistance in the sense of when you, I kind of lost my train of thought on this, but basically I think what my thought process was that if you're not so hung up on, like, you have to have it, and you just, because it comes back to, don't contradict your thoughts, so yes. You don't have to constantly affirm. So, like, Our friend was complaining. She's like, oh, he stopped texting me. He doesn't text me, or he doesn't get back to me. I can see why you were so frustrated. And we're both like,
sounds like a long story.
Contradicting
yeah.
what you're affirming for. And so, it comes down to that.
Yes. I want to go back to letting go. And what letting go means is that you have faith that the work that you've done is enough and you don't have to do anymore. And I have one more story, and this kind of goes back to our money video that we did recently. And here's a story where I, at one period, had a job that I realized I wasn't making money at. I was affirming hard during it, but I was not being effective. And I ended up leaving that job because I ended up having to owe that money. Won't get into specifics, but anyway, for an entire month, I had the only money I had. It was like $200 that I had coming in from a cleaning job that I had. I had no idea how I was going to pay my rent. Actually, it was last month, 2 years ago. So this is 2 years ago now. I had no idea how I was going to pay my rent, and I knew I wasn't going to stress about it because everything has to work out. And so it just had to happen. And so I did everything that I could in the 3D to take care of the bills that I had and to make money where I could. And then one day, it was like the third week of February, a friend of mine, my original SP, was like, hey, why don't you try doing this food delivery thing? And I was like, I can't, my car's on a lease. It was the same answer that I gave him a year earlier when he had recommended that I try this. And I was like, no. And I realized it was the fear that was holding me back. But at that point, I had nothing to lose. So I was like, I'll just try it for a week and see what happens. And I made my entire rent in 1 week. And that was all because I trusted that things were going to work out. And I followed the intuition and like listened to this friend who was like basically like messenger from the universe. Hey, Sue, you need to do this thing. And then wouldn't you know, I started making enough money where I could buy another car, so I didn't have to put any more miles on my lease. So anyway, just know that if you put faith in the universe, in God, in yourself, that what you're doing is working, and trust in it, you don't have to do anymore. You don't have to obsess over it, and allow it to come to you.
As we've said before, trust the process.
Yeah.
I think that pretty much covers everything on that subject. But if you guys have any questions, or if you have a story of your own.
One more point.
Oh, yes.
Going back to our first question of, do you need to let go? We said you don't need to let go. It certainly helps make things quicker. What you believe will work, will work. You are the God of your reality. You decide the rules. If you decide that you don't have to let it go and you persist in that, that's going to be true for you. If you decide that you do, then that's going to work for you. So I just want to reiterate that. What you think works will work.
Exactly. And for us, we're like best friends, and we're very much alike in our beliefs. Because everyone is pushed out. So that's, what has worked for us, but it doesn't mean it's everybody's cup of tea. So it's your rules. You're the director. You're the God of your reality. You're the creator. However you want to think of it, it's you. It's all comes down to you.
Yeah. And you're me pushed out. So really it just comes down to me.
Exactly.
All right. So like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Don't forget to go out and manifest that dream life.